Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now, and I want you to lean in and hear me real clear, because this ain't just about a message. This is about a moment, a shift, a revelation. You ever been hurt by someone you gave your all to? I mean, really gave him every piece of your heart, your energy, your loyalty. And then they turned around and threw it all away, like it meant nothing. Yeah, I know that sting. We've all felt it. Let me tell y'all something. One of the hardest, most powerful things you will ever do in your life is walk away from someone you love with your head held high and your dignity intact. I ain't talking about storming off, slamming doors, or sending long paragraphs, trying to explain yourself to somebody who already made up their mind. No, I'm talking about that silent strength, that calm, quiet decision that says, I love me more. See, when someone hurts you, when they lie to you, take you for granted, treat you like you're an option, it breaks something in you. It cuts deep. But you gotta understand that pain. That pain ain't there to destroy you. That pain is a lesson. It's God's way of saying you deserve better, and I need you to see it. And once you see it, baby, that's when you walk. Now, I know it's not easy, especially when you gave your all to someone. You dreamed with them, built with them. Maybe you even saw a future with them. But let me tell you something. Love without respect ain't love. And you can't keep holding on to somebody who's okay with hurting you. If they truly valued you, they wouldn't risk losing you. So when you walk away, you do it, not because you're weak, but because you're finally strong enough to stop settling. You walk away not because you stopped caring, but because you started caring about yourself. That's what dignity is. It's not just leaving, it's leaving with your peace, your pride, and your power. And the crazy part, when you walk away right, without drama, without begging, without trying to prove your worth, that's when they feel it the most. That silence, that absence, that glow you start to develop the moment you choose you. It's like a mirror. It shows them everything they lost. And while they sitting there trying to figure out what happened, you're over here living. You're over here building. You're over here. Let me say this plain. Your dignity is priceless. Don't ever trade it for someone who can't see your value. Don't ever lower your standards just to keep someone who's not trying to meet them. Don't ever stay somewhere that's killing your spirit just because you're afraid to start over. You got one life, one shot, one heart, and it's too precious to waste on people who don't know how to treat it. So the next time someone plays you, disrespects you, or tries to dim your light, remember this: you don't need to yell. You don't need to prove a point, and you sure don't need to chase. Just stand up, straighten your back, lift your chin and walk. Let your absence teach the lesson your presence couldn't. Because the most powerful message you will ever send, the one text that'll echo louder than anything you could write, is this: I loved you, I believed in us, but I love me more, and I'm done. And you say it not with your phone, not with your mouth, but with your feet. Now walk. Let me break it down for you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. I know that sounds strange in a world where everybody's shouting, posting, texting, trying to be heard. But when somebody hurts you, when somebody betrays your trust, when they walk out on you like you didn't matter, your first instinct might be to speak up. You want to call them out, let them know what they did, make them feel the weight of the pain they caused. But you gotta understand, silence, oh silence, is a different kind of message. It hits different. Silence says, I don't have to explain myself to you. It says, I'm done giving you access to my energy. It says, you no longer get to hear my voice, see my tears, or feel my presence. See, when you argue, when you respond, when you send that last emotional message, what you're really doing is feeding the connection. You're still giving that person a seat at your table. But when you go quiet, baby, that's when they start to feel it. Now I'm not talking about the silent treatment out of spite or games. I'm talking about the kind of silence that comes from healing. The kind of quiet that says, I'm moving on with grace. That silence, that peace, it's powerful. And let me tell you why. Because when a man expects drama and chaos, and instead he gets silence, it throws him off. He's used to the back and forth, the text, the calls, the arguments. But when all of that stops, when your name ain't showing up on his phone anymore, when he realizes you're not watching his stories, not asking where he went, not checking for him at all, that silence starts to echo in his mind. He'll start wondering, did she stop caring? Did she really leave? Did I lose her for real this time? And that's when it hits. That's when the regret creeps in. Not because you screamed, not because you begged, not because you broke down, but because you didn't say a word. because you didn't need to. See, silence is what happens when you choose peace over pain. It's what happens when you realize your worth don't need to be defended, that the person who walked away didn't deserve a front row seat to your comeback. When you're quiet, they have to sit with their own thoughts. They have to process what they did without your voice to distract them, without your tears to ease their guilt. And trust me, that silence, it'll keep them up at night. So don't be afraid to go quiet. Don't feel like you owe anybody an explanation after they made the choice to hurt you. You said enough with your loyalty. You showed enough with your love. Now say the rest with your absence. Let your silence speak volumes. Let it echo. Let it linger. Because sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's power. It's wisdom. It's healing. And it says more than 1,000 words ever could. Let me tell y'all something from deep down in my heart. The biggest breakthrough in your life is gonna come the moment you realize who you are and what you're worth. I'm talking about the day you finally stop begging people to love you. Stop chasing folks who can't see your value. Stop shrinking yourself just to be accepted. That day right there, that's the day you take your power back. You see, too many of us have been taught to settle, to make ourselves small, to put other people's happiness before our own, just to keep the peace, just to feel needed, just to have somebody around. And we end up losing ourselves in the process. We forget that we were born with purpose, that God don't make no mistakes, that everything about you, your heart, your mind, your strength, your light, is valuable. You are not some placeholder. You are not somebody's backup plan. You are not the maybe in someone's life who should have made you there always. The truth is, the minute you recognize your worth, everything starts to change. The way you walk changes. The way you talk, carry yourself, treat yourself, it all shifts. You stop accepting half love. You stop making excuses for bad behavior. You stop entertaining people who don't clap when you win. You start attracting better friends, better opportunities, better love. Because once you know your value, you stop offering discounts. You are a whole blessing, a gift, and the person who couldn't see that, that's on them. Don't you ever let someone else's inability to love you convince you that you're unlovable. Don't you let their brokenness bleed into you. People will project their fears, their insecurities, their selfishness onto you and make you feel like you were the problem. Nah, baby, you were just too much for someone who wasn't ready. Too real for someone who preferred games. Too deep for someone who only knew surface level love. You gotta look in the mirror and remind yourself who you are. Every scar, every tear, every setback, it built you. It didn't break you. It refined you. You're not damaged. You're developed. And anyone who steps into your life better recognize that they're dealing with a queen. A woman who's been through hell and came back holding her crown. Let me say this, and I hope it sinks into your spirit. Your worth is not up for debate. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to convince anyone of it. The right people will see it and respect it from day one. And if they don't, if they overlook you, misuse you, take you for granted, then they were never worthy of you in the first place. Start walking like you know your royalty. Start speaking life into yourself. Stop settling for people who only love the idea of you but not the responsibility of loving you right. Because when you recognize your worth, baby, you stop begging to be chosen and you start choosing yourself. And let me tell you something from a man who's lived a little. The moment you start choosing yourself, that's when life starts choosing you right back. Life has a funny way of knocking you down, just when you think you're finally standing tall. One minute you're in love, you're happy, you're dreaming big, and the next minute you're sitting alone wondering what the hell just happened. That kind of pain hits different, especially when it comes from somebody you trusted, somebody you opened up to, somebody you never imagined would be the one to break your heart. But let me tell you something right now. The setback ain't the end of your story. It's just the setup for your comeback. See, you might be hurt. You might be broken. You might have cried more tears than you care to admit. But what you don't realize is that in the middle of all that pain, something powerful is happening. You're growing. You're learning. You're finding out who you really are. When the world ain't clapping for you, that strength you're building while you're down, that's what's going to carry you to the next level. The comeback doesn't start when everything's perfect. It starts when everything is falling apart, and you decide to keep moving anyway. I know it's hard to believe when you're sitting in the dark, but baby, the comeback version of you, she's a whole different woman. She don't cry the same. She don't break the same. She's been through the fire, and now she's refined. She's wiser. She's